Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and this is the Terrian from Elite Archery. It's a new bow for 2022. From Elite, it's one of 3 new bows. Yeah, one of the other bows is the Elite Basin, which is this one here. Now, these 2 bows look very similar to me. It's almost like the rises are the same. I don't know if they are or not. They look the same. The Terrian is $100 more than the Basin. The basic difference is the Basin is a twin cam bow, the Terrian is a hybrid cam bow. With a hybrid cam, the originator of the hybrid cam, as far as I'm concerned, is Rex Darlington from Darton Archery. And when Darton came out with the hybrid cam, the theory was you didn't have to time the cams. That you could change the length of the cables and it didn't affect the way the bow shot. Now, there's 2 types of hybrid cams. There's one where this is a round wheel up the top here. This is a cam modular based system here. So you do kind of have to have these wheels in time, but it's not as critical. There is draw stops here and here. So you do want them in time. So it's kind of like a twin cam, but it's a hybrid cam. It's got a yoke at the top, no yoke at the bottom. So it's sort of, for tuning, it's a little bit different than a twin cam. Twin cams, you twist the yokes here for cam lean. With a hybrid cam, you've only got the top. Now, hybrid cams were all the rage a few years ago, and they're still the rage with Hoyt. So Hoyt is big, is still, for some of their bows, are still hybrid cams. Target bows. Some of the Hoyt bows are still hybrid cams like this. So this is, and I'm not sure what Elite is doing with this cam system. To me, I don't know if they're trying to pick up the Hoyt shooters with a cheaper end bow, but it's kind of interesting. The Elite Terrian is 32 inches axle-to-axle, close to that. It's a 7-inch brace height, which means it's going to be forgiving to shoot. Draw length goes from 25.5 to 31.5, so a really big draw length adjustability, which is something the Hoyts don't have. Now it's done through rotating the modules top and bottom. You don't need a bow press to do that, so it's easy to adjust. The 31.5 inch draw length is one of those draw lengths that is very rare and hard to come by if you're a tool or archer. So just bear that in mind if you're looking for a longer draw length. There's not many bows on the market today that go out that far. This is one of them, so that's good. But when I look at this, I kind of ask myself why Elite didn't use their cam system on this bow. The Elite cam system that you'll see on all the top end bows is awesome. It's a really good cam system. It's like a binary cam where you can adjust the stop, like the let off at the top, either on the cable or the string stop. So you've got complete control on how the bow feels as far as how big the valley is, how much let off you've got, how the bow feels at the stop. Complete control. Elite haven't done that with the Terrian. It's a more of a basic cam system. Now, the big round wheels. So this bow should be smooth to draw. It should be easy to shoot. And I'm going to say it's going to be a step above the Basin. So, with all that said, how's this going to sit on the marketplace? Now, I think in America this is going to be about 700 American dollars. So it's pricing it below the top end the Elite bows, the most expensive bows, but it's above the beginner level. So it's a kind of a upper kind of bow price or a budget bow for a Hoyt. I don't like. So it's really set at a price point which is price sensitive. Now, most people either come in with no money to spend, so they're buying the beginner bows, or money is no object. So I'm not sure if this will be this Terrian, this bow will be a big seller or not from Elite. It comes in about 4 colors: an olive green, I think a black, a grey, and this desert tan. I think it's 4 colors. No camo, which is a bit weird. I think you should have camo. It's got 2 arrow rest holes here, which is good for fitting an arrow rest. 2 side holes here, which is good. It's got a thing here for a 2-piece quiver, which is good, but it's a bit weird because Elite doesn't have a 2-piece quiver anymore. But there are other quivers on the market which will fit into this. Trophy Ridge will have a quiver which will fit into this. Tight Spot will have a quiver which fits into this. You can see the little Allen keys here, so you can see how far out you can wind the limbs. On this bow, it's adjustable from 50 to 70 pounds. We wound the bow down 2 turns and got to 60 pounds. It also comes in a 45 to 60 pound model, which is a bit, like, it's a little bit heavy for ladies, but still a really good bow. So, like, it's really aimed at the, hunting market, beginner 3D archer kind of market, and not so much at the ladies intermediate marketplace. But this would be a great bow for that sort of archer. Metal limb pockets, which is nice. Good quality limbs, good quality riser. The finish looks nice on it. Overall, the finish looks nice. There's a stop top and bottom, as I probably already said. Look, it looks nice. It's just, I don't know how it's going to sit in the marketplace as far as sales. Is it going to be a price? Is it going to be a price dominator as far as, was this bow going to just dominate in the $1,000 price point market, $1,000 in Australia? Let's take it into the range. Let's shoot it through Chronograph, and let's shoot this bow at 18 meters and see how well I shoot. Let's try the draw cycle. The arrow I'm going to shoot is a gold tip Victory. It's 327 grains. It's a velocity with 90 grain point. So this is a 60 pound bow set at 29 inches. So the draw cycle, very different to the basin to start with. It's very sudden, the draw cycle. So this is definitely going to have more speed than the basin. So this is more like, the start of it's more like your normal Elite, so much better. So it's quite heavy, starting to drop, valley, solid here. So I'm going to let this down. You can see it's quite easy to let down because it's such a long valley. So it's similar to your top of the line Elites as far as the draw cycle, but clearly not as good. But miles better than the basin. So $100 more than the basin, better draw cycle, but very much a hybrid cam design, more like your old PSE. So if you're familiar with the PSE drive, which had a hybrid cam system, this draw cycle is very similar to that. So let's take a shot. That cannot be right. 322 feet per second. That's just crazy if it is right. So now we're going to shoot a Victory VAP. This arrow weighs 390 grains. It's a 350 spine, 150 grain point. I think the basin shot 270 or something. So let's try see what this shoots. 298. That's crazy fast, and doesn't feel that fast. Now the shot itself feels significantly better than the basin. The hand grip is the same as the basin, so it's not like your normal Elite grips, which kind of taper in and taper through. So the normal Elite grip is one of my favorite grips, if not my favorite grip. This is more like a little bit wider than a little bit wider than a Hoyt grip, bit like a PSE grip, maybe a bit thinner than a PSE grip. So different than a normal Elite grip. You've got your lower slide here, metal limb pockets. What I found with this, shooting this, and that's only the 2 shots, so I still feel a little bit of this. You can see the balance is not bad, but as you shoot it, it's going to push out like that, and that's what it's doing. With the basin, I was getting a little bit more of that when I was shooting, a little bit less control. And the brace height on this is slightly bigger, but this definitely feels more in control to shoot. Doesn't feel as fast, which is kind of intriguing. Because the speeds are very, very impressive. It's not an Envision. The Elite Envision top of the range bow is amazing. This is not that. Okay, so I'm back at 18 meters. I've sighted in the terrain. I haven't actually hit the goal, but I think I will in my first shot. So the bow shooting really consistent. So much better than the basin. Like, it just feels, the draw cycle feels good. The shot feels pretty good in the shot. I'm still getting a bit of that, but it's very consistent. It's a very consistent feel. It always takes me a while to sight in because I can't see where the arrows are. I should probably have binoculars with me, but so when I think about this bow, I think, well, what would be really cool would be if Elite put the Elite cams on this bow, and they didn't have the limb tuning. So the riser's not as good as the top of the line Elites. Doesn't have the cable slide, the roller slides that the top of the line Elites have. Doesn't have the limb pivoting thing, but it still has all the cool functions of an Elite cam system. Add about $1,000, then it's like $600 more. You get a better riser, you get a better grip, you get the limb tuning features. Well, I think that's a debate. As soon as I drop down to these cams, I'm like, I feel like I've dropped too many features for the $600. Now, it's not that this bow doesn't shoot good. Like, it's nice and light. It comes in 55 to 70. We've wound out 2 turns off it to drop it back to 60 from 70. It also comes in a 45 to 60. Now, I'd like it in a lighter poundage for obviously ladies and for more, young teenagers. That one I aimed a little bit to the left of the goal, like it was a 9 where I aimed it, but it was at 3 o'clock. So I think this is substantially better, but I think Elite have targeted the basin at your teenager, that sort of thing, where I think this is a significantly better bow, and it is $100 better, more expensive, but it's significantly better in my view. Now, I don't know what my grips are going to be like. I suspect they're going to be okay down the other end. It feels to me very much like shooting a PSE drive that I've shot, and I really enjoyed that bow shooting it before. It feels like that, but it's good. I'm going to say, of a higher quality than the PSE drive, and it is more expensive. So I just, like, in the shot, I feel I feel much more in control of this bow in the shot process than the basin. The basin, I didn't feel like I had much control. I want to go down there and sort of check the arrows because I'm running out of time on the camera. Okay, I'm really happy with the group. They're not in the middle, but that's okay. That's just sightseeing. I can get my hand around the whole group of them. Look, they're pretty tight. I'm pretty happy with that group. The bow to me feels more in control. I feel a slight upwards pressure. I don't feel the vibration I feel with the basin. I like the draw cycle better than the basin. So for $100 more than the basin, it's clearly a better bow in my opinion. I am still going to say that the Envision, which is a $1,600 bow, is a substantially better bow than the Terrain. And yeah, you're going to say, what's $600 difference? And yeah, it kind of is, right? But I'm going to say for those features, I think it's significantly better. The bow to me shoots well. It's a nice bow. I like it. I like the bow, but I'm going to go for the top of the line Elite every time over this bow. I'm going to struggle. I struggle to see its position in the marketplace because I think once people go to that price point, they generally jump to the top of the line bows. So it's not budget enough to be of interest to beginners getting into the sport. and the archer who's already in the sport will jump to the top of the line elite. That's my view of what's going to happen with this bow. But overall, it'll be a very consistent bow. The hybrid cam system has been on the market for a number of years, forever. It's really dependable, very easy to adjust. You don't need a bow press, you just move those modules, simple as. It'd be really nice if Elite had a chart to say what size, what number on the cam is what size draw length. So there's numbers here. It'd be nice if Elite had that on the chart system. It's not in the manual. It'd be nice if it was. And they also had limb stops in the package, but obviously they don't fit with this bow. But overall, nice bow. Elite produced good products, and I think they're pretty caught up with shipping, so it should be okay to get. So that's the Elite Terrain. Check it out at your local archery shop and see what you think. See if it's worth jumping to the top of the line in Vision. I think every single day jump to the top of the line in Vision.